Right, Eula. Fox News, the single greatest news source on planet Earth. The one who has also been sued recently because they spread false documents, false statements about the voting polls in the United States, and that's why they had to drop three of their presenters. Very, very good news source, clearly. But Fox News is by far one of the worst news sources you can ever watch, listen, or even generally subscribe to their views or viewpoints on the world, because they are just psychotic. It just really is what it is. I mean, it's more of an insult to psychotic or schizophrenic or schizoaffective individuals when they are compared to Fox News. But they've also been covering the fact that furries now hate Ron DeSantis. Now, if you don't know who Ron DeSantis is, he's a scumbag. He's an absolute fascist, and when people think of fascism, they think of, 1945, that kind of stuff. But what he is doing in Florida, denying access to healthcare, and ruining a lot of people's lives, especially even individuals of colour. It is just disgusting. What he is doing is essentially like a new version of the Reich. But most of America and modern American politics and political beliefs are moderately fascistic, and how they've been able to oppress trans people, gay people, and people of colour, and it's frankly disgusting. But Fox News aired many different videos of the furry fandom in full display and being spanked at Anthrocon, just furry parades and shit like that. And it's very, very stupid. But they actually managed to get a furry on to talk to one of the presenters. But first, let's do some background on this individual. The individual who actually went out and spoke to Fox News, which is something I don't recommend you do, is Vitaly Slade. They are a furry libertarian. And if you know of anything about what that is, libertarians generally is the belief that nobody should impede on their civil liberties, and they also advocate or support the political philosophy that advocates for minimal state intervention in the free market and private lives of citizens. Yet most libertarians or right-wing libertarians are pushing to have the government say something in the case of trans people. Just a bit hypocritical like that. Regardless, their belief a lot of time in regarding to taxes in the United States, even though the United States is one of the lowest tax countries on earth, and how the free market capitalism should never be imposed against, that's really stupid type of viewpoint. Because without taxes, America would be even more worse off than it was. But Vitaly is also a crypto bro, and during COVID he was also a huge anti-vaxxer. Now, unfortunately, I can't seem to find any of this for the anti-vaxxer stuff. I can find it for the rest of the stuff because he locked his account after ignoring the public's response to turn down the interview and completely made an ass of themselves. Let's take a look.
Oh, for me, absolutely. I'm hoping it's fun for everyone around me. The joy of bringing smiles to everyone's face is really the only reason that I like to do this. Getting smiles and bringing people happiness in all sorts of ways. The furries, I know specifically, are great at art and dance and theatrical performance, and it all brings with it.
Well, I mean, you're also great at spankings. Did you see the video we just played? What's going on with the spankings at the furry conventions?
Well, there's a popular restaurant called the Habra House, and this is a restaurant that is pretty close to one of the conventions that we set up every year. And at the Habra House, it's customary in Germanic tradition to I guess slap the asses of all of the patrons.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I didn't know the Germans were into that kind of kink, but there's a lot I don't know. So why do you want kids around people dressed up as squirrels getting spanked?
But see, this is what Fox News does. They ask really stupid questions to gain a reaction from the mentally ill, inbred Americans who frequently watch this stuff. Like, they always ask really forward and blanketed questions instead of picking at one incident and understanding the context behind it, like he mentions in his phrasing. Why do you want kids around people dressed as animals and spanking each other? The emphasis is on people, not situations, which, funnily enough, it's not just furries, but the restaurant itself does this. This restaurant, as it was mentioned in the video, does this, not just the furries. But see, like, he wouldn't mind as long as it's like a, cisgender model, blonde hair, big tits. He wouldn't care if she's getting spanked in front of children, because he doesn't actually care about protecting children. As I mentioned, because he doesn't actually care about protecting kids, he just plays that card to demonize anyone he comes up against.
Me personally, I don't. I think that it's definitely an adult-only environment for that. The furry conventions themselves don't have anything to do with that, though. The furry conventions themselves are really about community and bringing people together. A lot of us, we're not so socially uh, uh, it's a little bit tough. You know,
Okay.
it's easy to make fun of furries.
So why are you upset that kids are not allowed to be at the furry convention?
Once again, he's insisting that furries want kids there when no, we don't. We keep our convention spaces generally accessible to all ages and all people for a level of community and connectability. Like, because of social media, the median age of the fandom has begun to shift dramatically, and it's something these cunts seem to have an inability to grasp, is that society changes.
Well, me personally, I think that it is a great way to include everyone, no matter, you know, what their age. It's nothing. There's nothing inherently sexual about these conventions. You have panels that teach you how to create costumes or dance, or you know, we have variety shows and all kinds of stuff, but it's not sexual. It has nothing to do with that.
Okay, you say it's not sexual. That's fine. We have video that proves otherwise. But if, like, the governor said you can't have kids at the convention, why wouldn't you just say, okay, it's too bad, move on? Why are you and your crew so insistent on having the kids there?
So I don't think that there's a huge backlash, but I mean, I could be wrong. There's from my understanding, it is from my understanding, the convention just wants to avoid any legal gray areas that might be present in the law. It's you know, we're misunderstood as a group, and it's very easy to vilify us.
Okay. Do you blame yourself at all for being misunderstood?
Now, see, I fully blame people's inability to do their own research and actually have a brain capacity to separate that people can be different from situations. The situations don't define an entire group of people.
I mean, you're the one dressed up as a raccoon.
Oh, absolutely. I think that this is absolutely crazy and weird and fun. And that's the point. I think, you know, it's supposed to gain attention. I like being on stage. I like performing as a character. I like bringing joy to people.
Okay.
That's why I
If
do
I
it.
came to
You know,
one of
there
your
are hundreds of thousands of
conventions,
furries.
David, or maybe we sent Johnny to the convention, what should we dress up as?
A fucking Nazi.
You can dress up however you want. We've had Jack Sparrows show up. We've had all kinds of different animals. What kind of animal do you think you would be?
Probably a dinosaur. David?
A dinosaur. I like that.
I got to run. Good luck. And don't sweat too much.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you very much.
A fucking Nazi, because that's what you are. Either that, or you can dress up like Matt Gaetz, the Republican senator who got away with being part of a child sex trafficking ring. But, you know, or maybe you could even recreate Kurt Cobain. That would be quite interesting. But you wouldn't generally get into a convention, I don't believe. There would be a huge unease with any right-wing media sources, especially Fox News, who have demonised every part of the LGBTQ rainbow. You'll be removed by security on site. Now, since this all went down, the individual who has been crying on Twitter about furry community's toxicity, despite them going against the belief to talk to individuals who have continued to attempt to destroy and outlaw our community. The thing is, many people believe that you can change these people's mind. Personally, I believe individuals who watch Fox News and actively believe what they are saying without any sort of checks are way too stupid to change. Or too old. They're probably 2 steps from cardiac arrest. But seriously, we cannot change these low intelligence level individuals. Like, it's purely just brain rot sitting here and watching them try speak.